What is going on, Buffalo State Hockey? My name's Evan Harrington, alongside Bengals head hockey coach Steve Murphy for another episode of Mondays with Murph. Head coach Steve Murphy, how you doing?
Doing great, Evan. Everything's good here, man. New week, new opportunity.
So you say new week, new opportunity. You guys went 2-0 this week in conference play. We'll get into that, but just brief thoughts, just going 2-0 in the first week of conference play.
Yeah, it was important, and we had kind of stressed all week, just us getting off to a good start in conference. Like we talked last time, it's really hard to go on the road and to win 2 games in this conference. And I thought for us, we were really good for 5 of 6 periods, and ultimately, yeah, we were able to get 4 points out of the weekend, which was a massive start for us. But it's done, it's over with, and we got to move on because those 2 games, yeah, they help us, but mission's not accomplished yet.
So currently sitting, it is early in the season, but you guys are currently tied with Oswego with 2 wins and 0 losses in the conference of the SUNYAC, and that puts you tied for first right now with 4 points. So just kind of overall, what is your thoughts just having that first place tied with Oswego this early in the season?
No thoughts, honestly. Just, yeah, it means nothing. Like if one bad weekend and it goes away, there's still 12 hockey games to play. So again, yeah, we're just trying to bank points and ultimately get enough to get into a playoff spot. Those 2 games for us this past weekend, Morrisville, Cortland, were big wins on the road. But obviously this weekend with Oswego, Canton coming up, those pose a new test. So, yeah, is it nice to kind of be in a top spot? That's great, but it doesn't really mean anything this early on in the season. I think we just need to keep worrying about ourselves and getting better every day, is because I think, again, we made plenty of mistakes over the week, and that we can still correct and really just turn us into a better hockey team moving forward.
And recapping this past week and before we look towards this weekend, it started off with a big 4-1 win against SUNY Morrisville on the road, kind of kicking things off. A slow start in the game, first period 0-0, but that second period for you guys, you jumped out with a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, I thought our first period was good. I thought it was a good road period for us. Our first kind of first period on the road all year and then in conference. Kind of wore off the bus legs, got a feel for the game. I thought we had a couple chances in the first. Their goalie was dynamite all game. I thought he played unbelievable. And then ultimately kind of took over in the second period. I don't even know, we had like 18 shots on net in the second. Ultimately found our game. So then you get a little bit of a cushion, and then it's just kind of, don't do anything dumb in the third period and ruin it. And I thought we were pretty good in the third period. They had got the goal early on, and then we kind of responded the rest of the way. But it was a good first game on Friday night just to get us started into the weekend and get those 2 points in conference early on.
And then going over to Cortland, a big game for you guys. You jumped out early overall on Cortland with a 4-0 lead, and overall throughout the rest of the game played, Cortland started slipping their way back into the game, but overall the team played strong, held on, and got a big 5-3 win against the Red Dragons.
Yeah, for us it was, again, just regrouping. I thought we did some things well on Friday night. We talked, showed a couple clips, just, hey, here's where we need to be a little bit better Saturday. I thought we played, again, a good first period on the road. You get out of the period tied 0-0. I thought we had some chances early on. They kind of made a little bit of a pushback towards the end of the first. And then, again, we took over in that second period and then scored 4 straight. And then I just kind of thought we started to just not play smart hockey, and took a penalty late in the second period. They scored a goal. So again, those were really our 5 best periods of hockey. And then in the third period, I just didn't think that we did a lot of things that you're supposed to do in protecting a 3-goal lead. I thought we put ourselves into bad spots. You take 6 penalties, you're going to pay a price, and we were down 4-on-3 and 5-on-3 at 2 different points in the game. Like, you just can't do that. But again, I give our guys a ton of credit. We found a way to gut it out. We bent, we didn't break, and we got a huge 4 points out of it. So we gutted that one out at the end. And, looking back at hopefully in January, February, we're going to, not really remember that third period. We're going to learn from it, be better moving forward. And, it was a massive 4 points for us.
And 2 players offensively that were key contributors to the 2 wins this weekend in both games was Donovan Powell and Vadim Kirikov, both netting a goal in each game. Just talk about both of them being younger players, Vadim a sophomore and Donovan a freshman.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we sat here right first after opening weekend, and we scored 8 goals, and 6 of them came from freshmen, right? And like they kind of carried us through opening weekend. And then Morrisville, 3 of the 4 goals came from returners, right? With one of those being Vadim, and he's a guy that very well could have had 1 or 2 more in that Morrisville game. Missed a breakaway early on in the first period, and then Cortland, it was a mixture of young guys and older guys. So yeah, those 2 are obviously playing really well for us offensively and contributing. But I think it's a number of guys right now that are, whether that's on the score sheet, off the score sheet, whatever it is, that are helping make us a little bit more of a dangerous team and providing offense for us. Yeah, those 2 are kind of leading the way right now, but there's a number of guys here that on any given night are trying to, or at least helping us put us in a good spot to be successful.
And then goaltender Marcus Cumberworth, back-to-back starts, only allowing 1 goal against Morrisville, but very stout and disciplined against Cortland down the stretch for you
Yeah,
guys.
he was massive Saturday. Again, when we put ourselves in a tough spot and really put him in a tough spot, I thought he came up big. 2 of the goals were power plays. One was a 5-on-3, and so you just kind of, leave him to hang out there, and that's not what we need to be doing. One was a really nice deflection by them. We blew a coverage and they beat us back to the net and tipped it right underneath his glove. So Marcus was awesome this weekend. I was happy for him to obviously get two wins, the first 2 wins in conference this year. And for him, like all of our guys, like he gives us a chance to win every single night. And yeah, happy he was able to get 2 wins.
So now moving forward to this weekend, it's another big conference weekend for you guys, starting with the Oswego Lakers. Obviously a big familiar foe. We're playing them this Friday night. Right now currently tied in first place in the SUNYAC Conference. Just talk about this game coming up.
Yeah, it's just, another test for us and, kind of a different challenge than maybe what Morrisville and Cortland provided. But again, I think if we just worry about ourselves and we play to the way that we're capable of, our skating and pushing the pace and, doing the things that we've talked about, for the first month and a half of the season, then, we'll be good. I think it's 2 young hockey teams there. They brought in a lot of freshmen as well. So, it's game 3 of the conference play. Obviously two massive points on the line, but we'll go up there and put our best foot forward and kind of see what happens. But I think if we just stick to our game, then we'll give ourselves a chance to win. So yeah, excited obviously for that game Friday night.
And a newer opponent in the SUNYAC Conference, SUNY Canton. Just talk about them and the start they're off to the season as you play them Saturday.
Yeah, I mean we've seen them in previous years. If I've played them a couple times, just be going up there or coming down here. Don't know much about them because we haven't seen them play in obviously a couple of years. But again, it's a SUNYAC opponent. So if you don't show up and you're not ready to work, you're going to get beat. So for us, again, it's just we play play the way that we're capable and play to our structure and our philosophy, then we'll be just fine. For us, I think, again, it's important for us to have, get off to good starts, have good first periods. That doesn't necessarily mean we have to lead after the first period. Just get us into the game, get us going, and then, again, our second periods have been pretty good throughout the year. Hopefully we can jump on teams, again, during the second period. But, yeah, we'll kind of see what Canton poses for us on Saturday when it's time. But I think right now our focus, again, is just getting everything we need to get right here for not just this weekend, but most certainly starting Friday night.
All right, that has been another episode of Mondays with Murph with myself, Evan Harrington, and Bengals head hockey coach Steve Murphy. The team is back on the road this weekend against Oswego and SUNY Canton. Then they will be back on the road once again, and then they'll end the first semester at home. But once again, just want to say thank you for tuning in to another episode of Mondays with Murph. Take care and have a great rest of your day.